My girlfriend's family isn't human. James first noticed her on a Wednesday afternoon, when the light through the high windows of the cafe was slanted and golden, dust motes drifting in the beams like tiny dancers. He'd arrived early that day, hoping to claim the small corner table by the window for his music theory workbook and a large black coffee. The cafe was a comfortable jumble of mismatched chairs and tables, a gentle hum of conversation punctuated by the hiss of the espresso machine. As he stood in line, waiting for his drink, he saw her at the counter. Dark hair fell in loose waves just past her shoulders, catching the light in chestnut highlights. A pencil was tucked behind one ear, and she wore a moss green trench coat that seemed improbably elegant for this corner of town, a coat that looked as if it were designed by a meticulous tailor. Every seam purposeful, every fold intentional. He wondered what business someone so sharply dressed had in a bohemian coffee shop where most patrons wore paint-splattered jeans and flannel shirts. She turned, perhaps in response to the barista's question, and their eyes met. Her smile was crisp and immediate, as though she'd been ready to greet him all along. It was the sort of smile that could have been rehearsed, perfectly timed, flawlessly executed, but it also carried a soft warmth at the edges, like the flicker of a candle in a draft. He caught himself staring and looked away, heart suddenly pounding, but not before he noted the slow, deliberate way she stirred her latte, as if she were counting the rotations of the spoon, the way each swirl added a fraction of sweetness to the bitter coffee. Carrying his own drink back to the table, he set his heavy textbook down and tried to open it to the study on Skincarian analysis. The densely packed notation and commentary felt hostile, the tiny symbols arranged in a code that he struggled to decipher. Across the room, out of the corners of his eyes, he could still see her. She'd chosen a small round table by the pastry display, stood there for a moment, one foot slightly in front of the other, favoring her right leg as if it bore a secret weight. She peered at the croissants and danishes with an appraising gaze, but didn't purchase anything, just sipped her coffee, black, no sugar, eyes moving over the glass case with a quiet intensity. Once seated, she placed her phone, wallet, and green notebook on the tabletop, aligning them in a perfect row, as though about to perform delicate surgery. She opened the notebook and began to write, flipping pages with swift precision, a motion so brisk it reminded him of a librarian shelving books by the minute. He tried to concentrate on his personal studies, scanning over phrases like tonal, prolongation, and voice-leading reductions. But her presence at the far end of the cafe short-circuited his focus. The scratch of her pencil on paper,